I'm going to talk about different kinds of foods and how you can use your produce, okay? So the first thing I want to talk about are smoothies. You know about the green smoothies. Who likes the green smoothies? Yay! Who hates the green smoothies? Anyone hasn't tried them? Okay. Okay, so that's good. I had some people last night who were like, no. So the green smoothie is a great way. Even the kale can be put in your green smoothie, right? If you throw a frozen banana in there, all is well. You will just taste the banana. And if it really freaks you out, don't put it in a clear glass, and you'll never know what you're drinking, okay? So certainly smoothies, and then you get your veggies at breakfast, which can be a challenge, okay? Let's see. Another thing that you can do, I should have mentioned this with the greens. If you are just stuck and you don't want to deal with your greens right now, which may happen, go on and take the stems out, do this blanching technique that I mentioned, and since you've got your blender out because you've been making your smoothies, go on and puree your greens with a little bit of water and make, like a looser puree, okay? And then freeze that in ice cube trays. Once they're frozen, pop them out and put them in plastic bags. This is also a good technique for fresh herbs, by the way. But then you just have a little pop of nutrition that you can throw into soups, pasta sauces, rice cooking water, chili. It's a great way just to be like, yeah, I've got these green cubes. I'll just throw them in there. I don't know what they are. You can even put them in your smoothies, okay? But it's another way to sort of, again, decrease that storage space with your greens, okay? Another great way to use up vegetables, certainly omelets or frittatas. I mentioned that. Even chopping up vegetables and putting them in egg salad. For those of you who are doing Elmwood, we have those pea shoots right now. Has anyone gotten those? They're really good in like egg salad and tuna salad, strangely. Try that. Certainly pasta sauce. And I'm not even only talking about tomato sauce here. You can think beyond the tomato and do like a garlic and oil or a cream sauce and go on and do that as well. Roasting vegetables is probably my favorite tip, okay? Almost any vegetable can be roasted. Sheet pan, 400 degrees, 20 minutes, salt and olive oil. That's all anything needs. Certainly you can do other sort of flavors, but any vegetable from greens to turnips to potatoes to radishes can be roasted and delicious. And when you do that, they caramelize, you bring the sugars to the surface, so you get to experience a little bit of a different flavor. If anyone has to go, I've got some things that you can take with you too. So I saw you putting your jacket on there, but they're packed up with lids, so you can bring. I've got green hummus that has been made with 4 cups of spinach into a hummus recipe, and I've also got some homemade ranch dressing because I know lots of people want some ranch to go with their veggies, and I can get behind that. So this is going to be a little bit healthier. It's made with Greek yogurt, and I also have some ranch packs that are just the dried herbs that you can take with you as well. Okay, so if you do have to leave before I'm done talking, please come on up and grab some of that, okay? Okay, but I'm almost done. Some other ideas, of course, soups and stews. Okay, so a lot of classic soups and stews already include vegetables. Similar to sauces, soups and stews will often simmer a while, so you can really cook down quite a lot of vegetables in there, okay? Sauteing, we covered that already, especially with garlic. Everything's better with garlic, right? Shredded. Now, when you get the kohlrabi, and I know people are worried about the kohlrabi. We'll talk about this later in the season. Shredded kohlrabi is delicious. You can do that with cabbage, with bok choy, with radishes, with carrots. Again, finely shredded. You can eat them as is, raw, and make a slaw, put them on top of salad, put them in a wrap, put them in egg salad or tuna salad, okay? But again, you're decreasing that storage space that you need, and you're increasing the likelihood that you are going to use that vegetable later. I just mentioned wraps. Greens make a great wrapper, okay? You can use lettuce. You can use collard greens, kale greens, even mustard greens to wrap. If you do it, sometimes it's a little helpful if, again, you take out that center stem, and you'll notice that things will roll just a little bit easier. So not only can you use them as the wrap themselves, but then you can put your veggies in your wrap, And the two spreads that I've got here would also be really nice in there as well as like a little bit of a binder. The last two that I've got, pesto. Pesto is not just for basil. Has anyone tried making an alternative pesto out of other greens? Which one have you done? Kale pesto? You also? Yep. Yeah, it's really good, right? Because once, again, you put that garlic in there, you put in the cheese, you put in the nuts and olive oil, it's delicious, right? And you can use a lot. Arugula is also good for pesto. Radish greens, actually. Carrot tops. You can make pesto out of anything. All pesto means is pounded in Italian because it used to be made in a mortar and pestle. So if you pound something with garlic and nuts and olive oil, it's pesto, all right? And again, you can also freeze that and use it later. I would recommend if you do that, leave the cheese out and add it later on as you eat it, all right? And then lastly, the dips. So not only can you dip your vegetables into dip, but you can make your vegetables into dip, okay? And that's what I did with that green hummus there. So that is a traditional hummus recipe. It's flavored with a little lime instead of lemon, just because I was keeping the green theme. But it's got some cumin, and like I said, 4 cups of spinach in a batch of hummus, and came out pretty good. So think about using different ways that you can make dips with vegetables as that main ingredient. You can also do a cream cheese dip, yogurt dip, something like that as well. Okay, so you guys are welcome to come up and try any of those things there. I'm going to put some lettuce leaves on that last plate. And one thing, too, I will say, people thought this was pretty funny yesterday. If all else fails, compost piles are awesome. Right? At least you're not throwing it away. If you already have a composter, certainly you can do that. Or if you can start one, all it takes is a couple cinder blocks and a pile of rotting vegetables, right? At least you're giving it back to the earth. So, but the bottom line is roll with the punches. You are going to get things that you love, things that you've never seen before and you're not really sure about, but staying flexible is certainly going to help with your CSA season. So hopefully you all will be able to come back to some of these other classes and learn some other sort of tips. I am structuring them a little bit different than I did last year. So you may have noticed this already, but each one will focus on a different meal. So June will be breakfast. We can talk about some ways to use veggies at breakfast. I am doing a dessert one in September, just so you know. So that could be interesting. All right. Well, any other final questions or anything that you hoped that I would talk about today and I didn't? Covered it all, huh? All right. Well, come on up, enjoy some of the food, and you can always ask me any questions, too, that you may not want to ask in front of everyone else. All right? So thanks, you guys.